The shepherd boy tried to wave his stick and shout to drive the bees away, but they were too many. He quickly realized he needed help. So, he blew his whistle, a signal that called for the rescue team from the nearby village. Within minutes, the rescue team arrived with nets, smoke cans, and protective suits. They carefully used smoke to calm the bees and guided the sheep away from danger. Some rescuers treated the sheep with cool water and herbs where the bees had stung them. Slowly, the frightened animals began to calm down. The shepherd boy was very grateful. He thanked the rescue team and promised to keep his sheep away from the beehive in the future. The team also moved the bees safely to a new spot far from the meadow, where they could build their hive in peace. From that day on, the shepherd boy learned the importance of calling for help when in trouble and the value of working together to solve problems. The sheep were safe, the bees were safe, and the valley was peaceful once again. The day had started peacefully. The shepherd boy had led his flock to a wide meadow filled with fresh, green grass. The sheep were happily munching, their bells jingling softly as they moved. The shepherd boy sat under the shade of a tall oak tree, playing a simple tune on his wooden flute. The valley echoed with calmness, and everything seemed perfect. But then, a strange buzzing sound began to fill the air. At first, it was faint, like the hum of a distant drum. The boy paused his flute and looked around curiously. The buzzing grew louder, stronger, and angrier. Suddenly, from behind a thick bush, a huge swarm of bees burst forth like a dark cloud. Their wings shimmered in the sunlight, and their buzzing turned into a roar. The sheep raised their heads in alarm. One frightened lamb bleated loudly, and within moments the whole flock panicked. They tried to run in different directions, bumping into one another in confusion. The bees, disturbed by the sheep straying too close to their hive, swirled around furiously, stinging wherever they landed. The poor sheep jumped and kicked, their woolly coats no shield against the sharp stings. The shepherd boy's heart raced. He waved his stick desperately, shouting and trying to drive the bees away, but it was no use. The bees were too many, and they were growing angrier by the second. Realizing he could not save the flock alone, he quickly blew his whistle 3 times, the special signal for help. Within minutes, the rescue team from the nearby village appeared on the hill. They were trained to handle emergencies in the valley. Dressed in protective suits, they carried nets, buckets of water, and cans that released gentle smoke. The boy felt hope return as they rushed toward him. "Stay back, son, we'll handle this," one of them called. The rescuers moved swiftly and calmly. They lit their smoke cans, letting the white clouds drift toward the bees. Slowly, the swarm began to calm, circling less wildly. Some rescuers herded the sheep toward safety, while others tended to those that had already been stung, gently cooling their wounds with wet cloths. After what felt like hours, the buzzing faded. The bees, soothed by the smoke, settled back into their hive. The sheep gathered together, tired but safe, their frightened bleats turning into soft murmurs. The shepherd boy sighed with relief. The rescue team had saved the day.